I served on a task force run by the CIA called the Political Instability Task Force. And one of the goals of that task force was to come up with a model that would help the US government predict what types of countries were likely to experience political violence and political instability within the next 2 years. And when this model was created, you had two types of people on the task force. You had experts on conflict like myself, and you had data analysts who worked for the agency. And the data analysts asked the expert, they asked them to tell them everything we thought might potentially lead a country down the path towards war. And we gave them 38 different factors. So we actually didn't know which were the most important ones. So things like poverty, whether a country heavily discriminated against a particular group, whether a country was ethnically homogeneous or not, all sorts of stuff. And the analysts went away. And when they came back, they said, it turns out only two conditions were highly predictive. And they were not the conditions that the experts expected. The first condition is something we called anocracy. All that means is a partial democracy. So the vast majority of political violence, the vast majority of civil wars do not happen in healthy democracies and they do not happen in full autocracies. They happen in between, in this middle zone where a country has some elements of democracy and they have some elements of autocracy. And they especially happen in these anocracies if they're rapidly moving from one side to another. So if you have a democracy that's rapidly declining, that puts it at risk of political violence. If you have an autocracy that's rapidly democratizing, think about Yugoslavia in the 1990s, that's where you get political violence. So that's the most important feature. Do you have a weak and rapidly changing type democracy? The second is whether citizens in those democracies were basically choosing political party based on race, religion, or ethnicity rather than on ideology. So you're joining a political party, not mostly because you're conservative or liberal, but you're joining because you're Black or white or Muslim or Christian or Serb or Croat.